The rest of that afternoon was as pleasant and restful as a stroll through an active volcano. Worries ran in circles through my head. Would Tina and Esme would hold up their end of things? Was Amy right about the monster's reactions? Would our harebrained scheme actually work? And oh yeah, would my parents announce their divorce at dinner that night? To say that I was a bit distracted would be like calling the Revolutionary War a little spat between friends. We didn't quite cover the subject. Despite all this, Penny and I did manage to put the finishing touches, except for a few, on our science fair project. At long last, the final bell rang. "Listen up, my fellow scientists," said Mr. Chu. He was decked out as a mad genius, complete with goggles, Einstein wig, and lab coat. "The hour has come. Everyone who's participating, I want you to carefully carry your projects to the multipurpose room. Best of luck, and may you blind them with science," everyone shouted. Mr. Chu beamed. "I guess he really liked that old song." My classmates collected their poster boards and various project materials. Bunny assembled ours, which was pretty skimpy. I gathered up our great helmets and shields, made extra thick for better protection. "Carlos," said Mr. Chu, "you do know it's not history fair, don't you?" "Absolutely," I said, "but if I don't bring them, it will be history." Our teacher crooked an eyebrow at that but made no further comments. Overhearing us, Tyler Spock said, "They're probably doing a miracle of papier-mâché." He snickered nastily until Bunny mouthed the word "double dog dare." They made him shut up in a hurry. I smiled. It was so sweet to have something to hold over Tyler. I thought we might delay his dare until the end of the year. Amid all the hubbub, Tina edged up to me and slipped a key into my palm. "There you go," she said. "And if you're caught, I have no idea how you got it." "Thanks, Torpedo," I said, "but how did you get it?" Tina sent me a level look. "I could tell you," she said, "but then I had to kill you." I knew she was kidding. Sort of. Protecting the key, I joined Bunny and the flow of kids heading down the covered hallway. I hadn't taken 3 steps before I spotted Esme stalking behind a post. "Puss," she said. She hissed. Rolling my eyes, I went over to her. "It's no big secret. You could just say, 'Hey, Carlos.'" "I know," she said, "but my way's more fun. Here." She handed me 2 jumbo-sized stuffed toys, a blue bear and a buck-toothed pink rabbit that smelled faintly of mint and lemongrass. Thanks," I said. "Friends of yours?" She glanced both ways, then muttered. We put the stuff inside her. To activate the predator instinct. I tucked the toys under my arms. "Well, thanks. Sure you don't need me to come along?" I shook my head. "Better not. If this goes sour, we don't want anyone else getting in trouble. Besides, I couldn't be sure she wouldn't try to pet the Scorp-Lions when they appeared." Esme wished us luck and dashed back to our room to collect her project. When we reached the multipurpose room, the place was as hopping as a kangaroo farm at chow time. Kids from all three upper grades now about setting up their projects on the tables, chatting with friends and trash talking the competition. I saw model volcanoes and lemon batteries, a mental stroller laser, and a static electric experiment. One project was called Can Goldfish Do Tricks? And another Garlic the Silent Killer. When it came to science, Monte Rosa students had all bases covered. PTA volunteers and a handful of workers in the sky blue and Zomon jumpsuits lent a hand here and there. With a start, I realized that the mad billionaire himself was supposed to be one of the judges. My legs went shaking. Do you see him anywhere? I asked Bunny as we sat at our table. Who? He asked. Mr. Hanzoman. If he interferes with us, we are toast. Don't worry, Bunny smirked. Even if he's not loony enough to try anything with witnesses around. You sure? I twisted my hands. We are talking about the guy with a three-headed dog and spider cats. Bunny wagged his head, acknowledging my point. Okay, he's naughty enough to unleash Armageddon right here, just to see if any heroes arise. Satisfied? He was joking, but fingers of anxiety tickled along my spine. But if the scientist did step in to help his freaky creations or unleash some of the nightmares from his basement lab, people could get hurt. We could get hurt. I spotted Mrs. Johnson across the room, greeting parents and soothing junior scientists. After threading my way through the crowd, I shifted from foot to foot, waiting for her to stop talking. Setting down the stuffed rabbit, I raised my hand. What is it, Carlos? She said. I'm busier than a golfer on a golf course. It's about the you-know-whats, I said. Excusing herself, the principal put me aside. Has something happened? Not yet, I said, but something might. Tell me. I pressed my palms together. Please stick close to Mr. Hanzomon. Don't let him out of your sight. Her forehead crinkled. Mr. Hanzomon, our sponsor? Yes, we are afraid he might get involved if he sees the creatures. We don't want him to get hurt. Don't worry, she patted my shoulder. I'll protect him. Not quite what I meant, but at least she keep an eye on the guy. The principal looked down at my two huge stuffed toys. Aren't you a little old for lovies? My cheeks went warm. It's for our project. At that moment, voices rose at the big double doors. Mrs. Johnson spun. Ah, speaks of the devil. True enough, truer words were never spoken. For there, surrounded by blue-suited flunkies and PTA well-wishers, was the mad king of the mad scientist himself, Haruki Hanzomon. Calling a greeting, Mrs. Johnson headed his way. Just by chance our eyes met. His gaze burned into mine like hot coals on balsa wood. His index finger tapped at the corner of his one eye. I'm watching you. And then he turned to meet the principal. A shiver rippled through me. I hated that I didn't know what the billionaire might do, but it was too late to turn back now. Sucking it up, I hustled over to Bunny. They are about to start, I said. Come on. At last he beat his chest. This dude is ready to kick some Scorp-Lion tail. I pass him the rabbit toy, and here's what you do with it. Bunny cocked his head. Right, because nothing says superhero like a 3 feet tall pink bunny. Hefting the blue bear, I looped a lunch or twine around his neck. Bunny did the same with his bunny. We donned our great helmets and shields, and brought along a can of soda just for insurance. Hero time, I said. Bunny and I turned and strode out of the side door, dragging our giant stuffed animal behind us. I knew we must look totally ridiculous. Hey, look, it's Tyler began, but with one glare from us, he shut up. A smile tugged at my lips. That was me, a tough guy with a teddy bear. Outside, the hallways were deserted, like a Wild West town before the big showdown. Through the chain-link fence, Bunny and I spotted the animal control team pulling gear from their truck. I patted my pocket and felt the key. Everything was ready, but were we? The closer we drew to the mechanical room, the faster my heart beat. In a few minutes, we'd either be school heroes or in a deep coma. You're not nervous, are you? I asked. Me? Nah. Bunny blinked rapidly. You? I swallowed, chill as a cucumber sandwich. We marched right up to the room, and I fitted Tina's key into the lock. Here goes nothing, I said, and then I opened the door.